and takes what they got. Why do you think America is the only country that has an embassy in almost every other country on the whole planet? All right, because he doesn't keep at home. All right, and his desire is as hell, and his death and cannot be satisfied. Okay, because he all he does is take, 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 take. Okay, take your oil. Yeah, what did he do to us? All right, he took our homeland. He took us. He took our heritage and beat it out of us. All right, that's all the so-called white man does. It says right here, the last part of verse 5. But gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. And I've made this point before. You're not gonna have in any other country. All right, America. You. How do I put it? A Russian or a German, right? Or a French guy comes to America. After a while, they're gonna be known as what? They live here long enough. They're gonna be known as a Russian American, a German American, or a French American. All right. You know, they even put that on us. They call us so-called African Americans. But no other country does that. America's really the only country that does that, if you think about it, okay? Even with Canadian and Mexicans, which are on our northern and southern borders. So it makes no damn sense, okay? Verse 6 says, shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe unto him that increases that which is not his. And that's what America does. These countries got their own stuff, their own land, their own resources, their own money, and their own wealth, all that. Alright? But America comes in there and takes it. Alright? It says here, how long? And to him that ladeth himself with thick clay. And the elders have gone into this definition right there where it says thick clay. It's talking about debt. Alright? And guess what? Alright? America is in debt. Alright? America is in heavy debt. Okay? If you look, and I'll try to put this up and get a screenshot of it, of the national debt clock. Alright? That thing's what, at was it 14 trillion and like over 150 billion. Alright, I checked like earlier today or yesterday. Alright? America is in debt. Alright, and there's an article that came out not too long ago that says America's not going to repay its debt to those all the countries that have taken America's debt. Alright, so it's a wonder why Russia and China have said to hell with America's dollar. Alright, we're going to put it with the ruble and or the yen. Alright, whatever China's currency is, okay? And they're investing in the euro. Alright, they're just doing away with the American dollar, okay? Because America is not to be trusted. On top of America being proud, on top of these so-called white people being proud over here, they're not to be trusted. Any so-called white man is not to be trusted, okay? Like you read in Sirach 12 and 10. Okay, never trust thine enemy. Alright? And America's the biggest enemy to the whole world. Okay? So now let's go to Revelation 18. Like I said, basic scriptures, alright? Trying to link them in, you know, a little bit with what's going on today. Okay? Let's read this. Revelation 18 and 1. And after these things I saw another angel come down from heaven, having great power, and the earth was lightened with his glory. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the great is fallen, and has become the habitation of devils, and the hold of every foul spirit, and a cage of every unclean and hateful bird. Alright, we all know what that's talking about. It's talking about the destruction of America by thermonuclear fire. Okay? Verse 3. For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, and the merchants of the earth have waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies. Why? What's that talking about? Because America does business with all these other countries. Alright? You look at the fact that America is the biggest importer nation on the planet Earth. If you look at almost any kind of product, alright, from made in Japan, made in China, made in Taiwan, alright, made in Mexico, alright, those are pretty much like the four, you know, with some other countries, obviously, but those are pretty much the four main countries you're going to see on almost every product you buy here in America, alright. There ain't too much, of anything that's American made anymore. Okay, and America outsources a lot of jobs, which is another reason why you got so much unemployment here in America. Okay, because this jerk Obama, right, basically turned up the outsourcing to a whole nother level. Okay, I know that I've experienced that personally because I used to, like I said, I've said before probably a couple times, I used to be playing video games a lot. All right, and particularly Microsoft's Xbox, and with their customer service, all but maybe one time. In fact, yeah, all but one time, because I used to actually have to call them a lot because that Xbox, it was a piece of garbage. The Xbox 360 was a piece of garbage. It was always acting up, and every time except for one time, right, I always get either I think the call center was like based in Singapore or something like that, or somewhere. I'd always get some weird Indian sounding person, okay, and I couldn't understand what the hell they were saying. I got mad and cursed them out one time. All right, over that piece of garbage Xbox. Okay, all but one time. One time I got a so-called white dude, and it was the best experience on there because you talk to them, they understand what you're saying. All right, but the whole point of bringing that out is that America outsources everything. That's part of the wine of the wrath of the fornication. Okay, not to mention America spreading, like I said, its democracy, its currency, its money. All right, its whole vibe, America's whole vibe. It spreads that throughout the whole earth, into all these nations. Okay, let's read. We'll skip down just a little bit. Here we go. Revelation 18:9. It says, "And the kings of the earth who have committed fornication and lived deliciously with her shall bewail her and lament for her when they shall see the smoke of her burning." Why? Because all these countries, all right, like the countries I mentioned, and particularly over there on the other side of the planet, China, Japan, Thailand, all right, another country, India, all right, where Esau goes to get cheap ass labor, all right, excuse my French, but those countries aren't going to be able to make money off America anymore. Why? Because America's going to be on fire, burning. Okay, that's why those kings are going to lament and wail. Okay, let's read here. Verse 10. "Standing afar off for fear of her torment, saying, Alas, alas, the great city Babylon, that mighty city, for in 1 hour is thy judgment come. And the merchants of the earth shall weep and mourn over her, for no man buyeth their merchandise any more. The merchandise of gold and silver and precious stones and pearls and fine linen and purple and silk and scarlet and all thine wood and thy manner of vessels of ivory and all manner of precious wood and of brass and of iron and of marble." I'm reading kind of fast, obviously. "And cinnamon and odors and ointments and frankincense and wine and oil and fine flour and wheat and beast and sheep and horse and chariots and sleighs and souls of men." Okay? "And the fruits that thy soul lusteth after are departed with thee, and all the things which were dainty and goodly are departed from thee. Thou shalt find them no more at all. The merchants of these things which were made rich by her shall stand off afar for fear of her torment, weeping and wailing, saying, Alas, alas, that great city was clothed with fine linen and purple and scarlet and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, for in 1 hour so great riches is come to naught. And every shipmaster and all the company in ships and sailors and as many as trade by sea stood afar off." Let me scroll down. "And cried when they saw the smoke of her burning, saying, What city is like unto this great city?" Alright, and that's pretty much, I don't read too much more on that. But those ships, alright, how does America get those products from China and India, alright, and Japan and such, and all these other countries? Okay, it's by the ships, alright, by maritime law, alright, it's by ships. Okay, because they don't fly them over here, alright, they get them over here by ships. They import them on a regular schedule with ships. So that's why those people are going to be wailing, and all those other countries, they're going to be weeping and wailing. Because why? No one's going to want to have it. No one's going to be available to buy into their goods anymore. Those cheap goods. All right. It's like the Elder Tahar brought out one day. All right. Those countries Japan, China, Taiwan.